There are hundreds of different companies out there that'll sell you auto insurance, and maybe you don't want to call them all to find out who's going to give you the best rate. Check out this shortcut. Good morning, everybody. It's your Cecil County Accident and Injury Attorney Jobeth Bowers coming at you from my Elkton office here. And I wanted to show you something, and I'm going to try to do a screen share here because this is an interesting new tool that I found, because there are hundreds and hundreds of auto insurance companies that are out there. And most of them you don't even know about because they're not spending millions of dollars every year advertising on football games and other TV shows. And spoiler alert, the companies that aren't doing that are probably going to be a better deal for you. So there is a calculator through the Maryland Insurance Administration website because that you can use to get a ballpark idea of which insurance companies might be the least expensive. Now, there are so many factors that go into these rates. Sometimes your credit score, your insurance history, accident history, other things that you might be eligible for as a discount that's going to change what your individual rates might be. However, all of the rates need to be approved by the Maryland Insurance Administration for property casualty, for really every type of insurance. And there is a baseline for every insurance company. So if Allstate is less expensive than State Farm, it should be less expensive for everybody, or vice versa, whatever it is. However, this calculator is not going to tell you what your specific rates are, but it'll tell you which companies are going to have a baseline, in an apples to apples customer type of scenario. I'm going to try to do a screen share here and walk you through this interesting little tool that I have found. This is on the Maryland Insurance Administration's website, and you can click where it says comparison shopping. And then it's going to take you to this page. It's an interactive auto insurance rate guide. And you can scroll down here. And again, this is going to be for people who share whatever information you put in here. So let's say you're 50 years old, you're male, you're married, you have 2 vehicles, and you're a homeowner. And as you fill this form out, it's going to tell you that you fall into scenario number 18. And if you see, if I were to put 25 in here and change it, that's scenario 16. If I'm a renter, it doesn't change it. If I have more vehicles, it does change it. Okay? See what I'm saying here? So let's go with somebody that's 44 years old, male, married, 2 vehicles in the house, and is a homeowner. This is scenario 18. So what you can do, you have everything listed here. So you're going to hit this drop down. You're going to say, show me scenario 18. Show me the county that I'm in. You can even go so far as to say, hey, I'm in Elkton, which is all that it's actually showing. So that doesn't help at all, probably because all of Cecil County must have the same rate. I don't know that for sure. But as you can see down here, these are all Cecil County scenario 18. And then the list of all of these different companies, which are currently sitting here in alphabetical order. And then for the scenario that we described above, which is scenario 18, all of these factors, this is what a baseline rate for that scenario should be. So you can see here with these first 2 that agency insurance versus AIG is going to be less expensive. Allstate, slightly more expensive than AIG. American Economy Insurance Company, somebody that who do this 300 or so times a year, have never seen or dealt with, even cheaper. So you can hit this and sort it by the rate and realize that for that scenario above, Progressive Insurance may be the least expensive of all of your choices. CSAA, which is AAA, might be next. Mutual Benefit, Geico Advantage, and so on and so forth. And you can go through here and you can see where these things rank. And if you can flip it the other way, you'll see who's the most expensive. Whoops. A company called Dairyland, Elephant Insurance, Hartford Insurance Company, so on and so forth. You can see I've now sorted them from most expensive to least expensive. And as the scenario changes, let's go to the 25-year-old single female with one vehicle who rents. That is scenario 2. So we can pop that in here and say, let's say we're in scenario 2. Now you're looking at rates that have all gone up because of a younger driver. You can see now the National General is the most expensive. Now, this is not the price that you're going to pay through that company because everybody's scenario is different. Some vehicles are more expensive to insure than others. Your driving record, the type of insurance coverage that you get, how much, the limits, and otherwise, all are going to be a factor. However, if you want that shortcut that is going to say, hey, let's save some time, let me find an insurance agent or a producer who sells this company, and that company, because they, according to this chart, should be the least expensive. This is a way to do it. Now, you don't have to go find that. If you check in the link below, I've put, or in the comments below, in the description, there is a link directly to that calculator. These rates change every quarter or so. The insurance companies file with the Maryland Insurance Administration, MIA, and say, hey, we need to raise rates because we've paid a lot more claims in the past quarter, or we need to lower rates, which they actually do from time to time. I'm working on finding where that information might be public as well. But using this calculator, you can kind of get a head start to say, look, for price, I may want to look at these 3 companies, these 5 companies, and then find an insurance agent or a producer who goes from there. So that's all the information that I have for today. I wanted to give people away. And again, that is an apples to apples comparison. It's not necessarily the price that you'll pay because as you saw from that chart, it doesn't differentiate between, hey, I want to have a minimum limits policy or I want to have $1 million liability policy or somewhere in between. It just says baseline for that individual scenario. So check that out. It might help you. It might save some time when it comes to you shopping for insurance. As always, if you have a question for the podcast, info@bowerslawmd.com. Make sure that you mention that you want me to talk about your question on the podcast, and I'll do so. If it's accident related, if it's auto insurance related, I'm going to do it like this. If it's something that I don't handle, I'm going to bring in a professional who does, and we're going to talk about that situation because it's something that they do each and every day. And as always, those back episodes of the podcast are available on our website at bowerslawmd.com. Just go up there to where it says podcast, click on that link, and it'll take you to all of those back episodes. So till next week, same time, same channel. We'll see you then. Be safe.